Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Pocket Cast. This is a very special episode of Pocket Cast, being that it is episode 7.
And it's hailing baseballs outside.
Yeah, literally, hailing baseballs. So it's a good night to be recording, and not outside. You've got Ed on the horn, joined by Fletcher.
That's me.
Yeah. You can reach us as always on Twitter. You can reach Fletcher at GapToothMF. And myself, of course, at Unicorn. If you haven't figured out how to spell it yet, go back to previous episode.
I like that. Even though our last episode, I don't think we covered panhandles. I don't think we covered handles at all.
That's perfect.
2 episodes back. I'll start writing it in the description. There you go. So we don't have to start cover. We don't have to cover it anymore. It'll just always be in the description.
Unicorn.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Check link in description.
Know, now you know, Ed.
Thanks, man.
Of course. This week we covered
This was Harvest Moon DS Grand Bazaar.
Grand Bazaar.
Or, in other words, Stardew Valley Nintendo DS Edition. On baby legs.
You know, I kind of have trouble saying it that way because it came first.
No, 100%. And I know it's sacrilegious to make pretend at the opposite. But this is my first Harvest Moon game.
It is my second Harvest Moon game. The one I've played this one now more than the other one that I played.
Oh, really?
Sure. Yeah.
No shit. I see, and I know, and I think even at the end of last episode, I even confused him. Harvest Moon with, oh god, Happy
Animal
Animals.
Crossing.
Yeah, Animal Crossing. Because I knew you liked Animal Crossing, and I have to assume at this point that I probably just made the correlation on my own. I don't know, but I always thought you were super into Harvest Moon titles.
That I can see the mix up, and I've seen there's a new Story of Seasons coming out. Story of Seasons is what Harvest Moon became.
Oh,
I don't know if it's I assume it's one of those things where the creator doesn't hold the rights to the name Harvest Moon.
oh,
And
yeah.
so, he's gone on to make, or the team has gone on to make Story of Seasons, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
I'm not super familiar with them, but I just saw this one, and it was very much Animal Crossing meets Harvest Moon.
Oh.
I mean, Harvest Moon is already playing it. It's kind of Animal Crossing. I would say
it's a little. It's not. Yeah.
the dialogue, the interaction with the characters isn't nearly as fun as it is in Animal Crossing.
Yeah. I know that we didn't probably but scratch the surface of this game. So I know that there has to be more later on, like relationship building and crap like that to progress character dialogue and whatever.
Well, but what it seems like, though, is that even those mechanics are really kind of basic. What ends up happening is the juggling of your crops and the amount of relationships that you were probably trying to carry on.
Yeah.
And the benefits that they bring. Because when I was watching the speed run, the guy had talked about he was doing the run for the best bazaar in the world.
Yeah.
Whereas he was talking about another one that you can do for which one you're marrying, or if you get married first, or I don't know what the goal is at the end of the relationship one, but there's speed runs where they are going to go for a relationship rather than focusing on the bazaar. And I'm assuming so then there must also be a focus on the farm run as well or something. I don't know if that would just go hand in hand with the bazaar.
I can't speak personally to Harvest Moon because again, I just scratched the surface. Because there's so much to do in a given day, right? It's Farming Simulator 101, but at the same time there's also this relationship building feature thing. And for someone who's trying to get the most content or the most progress in a game in the shortest amount of time to be able to I don't know, fill an hour with. I'm speed running those turnips, man. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't trying to talk to everybody very often. And I remember in Stardew Valley, again, underlying principles 1-to-1 for sure. Uh, Stardew Valley starts you off making you your first social quest, if you will, is to talk to every NPC, and you quickly come to realize every NPC has its own routines. It's like Majora's Mask, right? Everybody's on a timetable.
Okay.
Yeah, and then sometimes you'll hit a trigger at some point, progressing somebody's individual character, quest line, I guess you can call it, or relationship path, whatever. And that might trigger an environmental change, and it disrupts things. So people's patterns might shift because they get a different job or something like that, right? I think it's very well pronounced in something like Stardew Valley. This one felt pretty meh.
Yeah, it was very, very meh, very mild. And it seemed to me that even to the runners, this seemed very mundane, repetitive. They were talking about how you can do the watering your turnips twice, and they'll come out with a higher quality.
Yeah.
But it takes you have to wait 12 hours to water them again. That being 12 minutes real time.
Yeah. Yeah, 1 minute is 1 second in the game. So you've got 60-second hours. Wait, is that right?
No, you have it backwards.
Yeah.
It's 1 second is 1 minute in the game.
Yeah, I did have that backwards. But yes, the principle in reverse. Yeah.
Yep.
Willy Wonka reverse that shit. Strike that, reverse it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Willy Wonka reverse that. I've never heard that before, I don't think.
Well, he's got that line where he says, "Strike that, reverse it."
Willy Wonka
said
is
something.
in there?
Willy Wonka in the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh,
he has a line.
Strike that, reverse it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he says something backwards.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I don't remember for the life of me what it was he said.
Yeah, I wish I knew the response.
Damn. Now I want to watch Willy Wonka, dude.
You ever watch the remake?
Johnny Depp one?
Yeah.
Man, I love Willy Wonka. Like the story. The original, the book, the movies.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the book.
Yeah. So I'm torn because I didn't hate the Johnny Depp version. I did like it. It doesn't, for me, nearly have the charismatic charm that... And Jesus Christ, I cannot remember the actor's name. Gene Wilder, yeah. I was going to say Gene Audrey. But that is a totally different individual. Yeah. So, it's Gene Wilder. And he's whatever his time frame's Chris Farley. I don't know.
I won't even want
Apples
Chris
to oranges.
Farley. Definitely not Chris Farley.
Just so beloved. Not at all the same type of presentation in their art at all. But, to me, those are, equally deeply moving individuals. I love Chris Farley, but we're not talking about him. We're talking about Gene Wilder. King. Yeah. All day. But the Johnny Depp movie is so much more accurate to the book.
Is it really? I've never seen it.
Dude, it is 100%. Like Willy Wonka's origin, with his father and the dental hygiene, militant regime and shit. And then, his escapades into the unknown wildernesses to unearth new flavors and stuff. Super lore accurate. He's out there, slicing bugs in the jungle and licking their guts, and he's like, maybe a candy idea,
Did they ever do the what was the sequel to that one? It was where because they break through the glass ceiling.
Yeah, and then Willy Wonka, that's.
But there is a
man, I've
sequel,
never heard it literally
there?
said that way out loud, breaking through the glass ceiling, and now I'm just like, was that a political statement?
I would assume, right?
I mean, you've got little poor.
Be.
I was gonna say orphan boy, but he wasn't.
Not an orphan.
Not an orphan at all.
Just
He's
a broke ass family.
Fucking pimp ass Grandpa Joe.
Pimp ass, more just slumming it.
Dude, no man, Grandpa Joe was pimp. Old school Grandpa Joe.
Dude, he's either way, he's just fucking slumming it through the fucking.
Oh, dude, cabbage soup.
Just slum bag, dude. Just fucking can't get out of bed to make a goddamn cent for his family. And then the moment they're doing a trip to the fucking Like, why is it? Why
He
is
gets
he
out
the
of
one
bed.
that
He's
they
like,
choose?
"Oh, a golden ticket, you say, boy? My legs feel rejuvenated."
Oh yeah, I haven't gotten out of bed in 13 years.
Yeah.
but-
Fucking piece of shit, Grandpa Joe.
Yeah,
You know
Grandpa
he
Joe
was out there
sucks.
like on the prowl at night, slaying some puss, some alley puss.
Oh, dude, some strange.
100%, dude.
Grandpa Joe and the
He was just
strange.
like, it was the syphilis that kept him in bed.
Do you think Grandpa Joe is James from James and the Giant Peach? Just out there, always trying to get that booty. And then just after years of the syphilis and the booty chasing, he just got too tired of the peach's sweet juices. He couldn't get out of bed anymore.
I'm sorry, what the fuck? Well, I tried to hang on there with you, dude. We took some fucking turns on that one. And I fell off
I'm just
somewhere.
asking for a little bit for you to.
Dude, I've got my walls down, my
Suspend your
eyes wide
disbelief.
open, dude. My third eye is fucking blasted right now, and I cannot.
I need you to. Open
I don't know
your
how we
heart
got here.
chakra a little bit here.
My heart chakra, fuck,
Yeah.
dude. My bad. Wrong metaphysical
I need
property,
all
my
seven.
bad.
All 7 of them opened up.
7, cheap.
I think it's 7.
Bro, I'm a fat 30-plus-year-old dude.
You think you got more than 7 then?
No, I was gonna say 1 is impressive.
I just figured you had like boop 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 boop. Around, I'm making a circle around your stomach for those that can't
Yeah,
see.
I'm glutton from Full Metal Alchemist. The fucking
Oh man,
homunculus.
yeah, I forgot.
He eats with the
I
shit
knew
with his belly.
exactly what you were talking about. I didn't know I had that image and information link in my brain, but you just accessed it.
Yeah,
and just
you're
like,
welcome, dude.
Boom, there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for. I'm glad you can access the library that I can't fucking access.
It's a lot easier to hit random shit when you're throwing darts in the dark, buddy.
It's true. It's very true.
God, man, I'm gonna pass that one on to somebody's kids. Probably not mine.
Your kids.
I'm
No,
not
not
having
yours. Like yours to the audience. Your kids.
it. Oh, right,
Yeah,
the listeners'
because
kids.
We'll be
Yeah.
doing this for so many years. It'll be your kids. Your
Oh,
kids are gonna grow
this is our
up
legacy,
listening
dude.
to this.
We could do it in our fucking. I don't know what time. Like, what point do you think they're gonna start? Looking at putting us in a home or something.
Probably not until our 80s, and we got until our, like we said, 60s. In our 60s, we'll be done with this.
In our 60s. Oh yeah, because we did the math on how long at this. Well, at this rate, shit. Like,
Well, maybe 60s,
Hey,
70s. Now.
I can promise to you and our listeners at home, or at work, or wherever the fuck you are. I'm gonna do my best to keep my life together. For at least 12 months, starting in August. That seems fair.
Yeah, it had a crazy couple of months. He had like this fire at his office that was
Yeah,
like all electrical and definitely didn't have anything to do with him.
100%.
And the police didn't look into him at all.
Well, it's because I was so helpful.
He wasn't held at all by the police for 72 hours
Yeah.
or longer. And we didn't get pushed off even further when he got released, and then the press came out and his manager dropped him, and then
Yeah.
my agents won't let me record with him unless he's got his agents. And so now we're just stuck in this bureaucratic
Hellscape.
there's
Yeah,
nothing
dude,
that we could do.
It's
It
really
was-
been an unfortunate nightmare.
yeah, but I think
Again, I didn't do anything, but I can't believe Stacy didn't make it out.
she shouldn't have been there.
I told her
Neither
not
of
to
you
come
should
to
have
work.
been
Yeah, it's a tragedy, man.
It
R.I.P.
is.
Stacy.
R.I.P. Stacy.
Shit.
Your mom still has got it going on though. She looked good in that black dress at the funeral.
She was looking real good, dude. She was looking real fucking good.
Fucking fire.
Yikes! About to bust out that lawnmower. See if she needs her grief grass cut.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
the game Harvest Moon.
Right.
Did you notice that there's a double jump?
I did.
That was one of my favorite mechanics.
It felt. It felt so out of place, but so welcome
good.
at the
It was
same
the
time.
best double jump. It's like, oh my god,
Dude,
it
you could
feels
l-
like I'm clearing some air.
Oh,
here.
dude. I mean, well, let's do the bachelor math on that, because I'm not busting out numbers at all for this.
Sure.
But you're easily jumping 3.5, 4.
I'm gonna say more than
of your
that.
characters.
Okay, yeah, it's probably
like art.
of your character. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
like
so
your character's pixel art.
probably
Probably
2.5.
2.5 on the screen from like an actual pixel density, but
You think because
in
it's
terms of like the
isometric?
relative, yeah, space to the, because like you know that section like right south of the farm, and then
Yeah.
you're like supposed to be on a hill, and then the path comes down on the slope, but like off to the side you have like those, I don't know, like cliff steps that come down, you know?
Yeah, totally with the little
And you can
river
just
right
straight up
at the
jump
bottom.
over 2 of those.
Yeah.
Trying to tell me that's only like 2.5 times your height?
Yeah, okay, that's
Like,
fair.
let's be real.
I'm
That's
just thinking too about the cliff that you can double jump onto
yeah. Did you realize that you can? Like, there's a
Use the
shortcut all
barrel?
the way across to the market.
because you jump on the barrel
Yeah,
and get up there.
It took me a long time to realize you can jump on the barrel.
Me too. I think it was an accident.
I think so for this, like for me as well. Yeah, I was delightfully pissed.
Yeah. I was just
I was like, how many
What?
times have I spent so much fucking time running around?
And then you watched some of the speed run. You know
Yeah.
the fact that you could have absolutely just planted and gone to sleep and planted and gone to sleep and like just watered and gone to sleep. Pulled your turn. You
I
didn't
did
have to
know-
run into like town nearly as much because I kept buying like picking things up and selling them to Rawl.
Oh,
And then like trying to like make extra money. I was also trying to build my relationships just by talking to these characters. But every day they say the same fucking
yeah,
thing.
dude, they
Like,
have
I
nothing
tried to
to
give
offer.
them flowers. It took me a minute to figure out how to give them flowers. I figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't do anything. And then finally something happened where I was able to build like a little bit of relationship with somebody. And I don't even remember, did it happen to fall on a certain day where you like it was like a gift giving day
It could have been.
or I don't.
So I didn't realize this, but I had a significant head start understanding of like the mechanics, like the underlying mechanics of the game. And of course it's from Stardew Valley, but like I knew going in, I was like, I'm gonna be skipping days. I'm gonna try to talk to everybody once in town. It's gonna fucking stonewall you in terms of progress to at least probably the first weekend, second weekend. Because, and same thing in Stardew Valley. Granted, there's no Bazaar, but basically everything you sell, like you get your gains back, I think, at the end of each week.
Yeah, I think I know. I've played a tiny
Oh god,
bit.
it's been
I
a
know what you're
while.
talking about.
I'm pretty sure you can sell things overnight each night.
So you drop them in
but
that
then
box,
there's
right?
yeah, but then there's something that happens at the end of each week where like that's where your big returns are. For the life of me, Jesus, I don't remember what it is.
Does like a certain crop take a week, or does a certain vendor come around?
Yeah, there might have been. Holy fuck! Did they have a Bazaar of sorts?
Never played the game. I
Dude,
have no
fuck
idea.
me.
Yeah,
I don't
played, like,
remember.
5
There
minutes
was
of it.
something. Maybe it was just nightly.
I think I've realized that I really want to like farming games, and I just don't have the attention span, or it just for some reason like it makes me sleepy.
I definitely feel that.
The-
I feel like, man, if there was one that you like, if you were like one more try, Stardew Valley, and you can co-op it,
yeah,
but it is a very, it is as good as it gets in my opinion. You know, with all of my experience of having played that game plus however many hours I put into Harvest Moon DS Grand Bazaar, but it's super well polished. The mechanics are clean, and like I've played it on PC and Switch. Both feel really good.
I will say I like the art style more on Harvest Moon than I do on Stardew Valley. You know, because I get
Which are we holding? Because again,
It's-
my only exposure is this title here. Are we holding that one to the flame, or are you thinking something else?
no, I'm
perhaps?
thinking of this exact Harvest Moon. When I'm saying
Oh.
Harvest Moon, I mean this game.
Fair. No, that's fair.
Um,
That's fair.
Because I get, and it's one of those things where whenever something becomes, how do I say this? Whenever something is like retrofitted,
Mhm.
an example being like shiplap, or anything you're seeing people do in their homes right now that they did like in the 70s,
Sure.
that in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, you were like, that looks bad, but now it looks good again. That's gonna look bad again. I'm not saying that like
I think
doesn't
I hear
hold
you.
up because pixel art. You can look back and there's always been good pixel art. Stardew Valleys is good, but it's not like an astonishing pixel art to me. It
Sure.
doesn't like because I'm even thinking about too looking at some of the Harvest Moon games prior that are 16-bit.
Mm-hmm.
They did such a good job on the DS where it doesn't look in a lot of games that go for 3D models on the DS. You end up with a lot chunkier or like sharper edges on the characters. You know, the polygons are a little bit more noticeable.
Right.
In this game, it was really the characters were very well rounded. I mean that literally. Like there's not really sharp edges on them. There's not a grainy filter at all to the because sometimes you run into that too, where it's like because they're using so much.
I think Dementium.
Yeah.
Grainy.
Grainy. Yeah. There's no grain in this one. It just looks really smooth and buttery. And that's another reason like I just really wanted to love this game. I thought for sure in the first 2 days, the 2 games and the days in the game, I thought for sure like I'm going to love this. This is going to be my jam. Like I am all about Harvest Moon. This is going to be a game I'm going to keep playing after we're done with this week.
How did you like it, Fletcher?
I did not.
Yeah.
I mean, it put me to sleep really well. And I'm never opposed to that. I love a game that I can play where I can just like feel my eyes closing and I'm having trouble focusing and like all of a sudden I kind of open my eyes and I'm like running into a wall or like you come to and your eyes are open but you're just like, dude, you're like, what am I doing?
That was me playing Sola to Robo.
Yeah.
Dude, not every time, of course, but like, fuck me. Every time.
I feel like Solo 2 Rebel kept me going more than Harvest Moon did because then after your first week, you hit that wall of just like, oh my god, this is gonna be so much repetition.
Well, like every time you sell your crops, because I think the farm plot that you start out with, I don't remember the dimensions per se, but I think you can plant 54 crops at once or something like that.
Okay.
Were you able to the point where you could fill it all the way up?
No, I almost had it filled up, but I didn't have it quite because I also had trouble understanding how not to walk on them.
Yes.
And I know you explained the mechanic to me, but I could not get it to work. I did not.
You can also, there's a toggle walk button.
So walking doesn't hurt them?
No, walking is fine. It's only when you're sprinting.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes so much more sense. I just always forgot there's a sprint button. Like I used it the first, very beginning.
Turned it on and then
just eventually turned off, and I was just like, whatever, la-di-da-di-da, because it is a lot of time killing, at least in the beginning. If you're doing it the way I was doing it, where like I was trying to make the most out of every day,
100%.
and then you get to the Grand Bazaar and you're like, oh, I didn't need to do.
I just needed to grow these fucking crops,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the part where I got stuck the most is the animation time to interact with each plot.
Oh, how about the sounds for interacting with you? Did you choose a boy or a girl character?
You went with a girl, didn't you?
I went with a boy.
Oh, did you? Okay.
But you did see that same video as me where the girl character just makes the most obnoxious, half orgasm noise. It is weird.
It's bad, dude.
It is unsettling.
And to hear that on repeat
so many times, 54 times.
Well, that depends, because if you're planting, if it's planting day, and if you plant it perfectly and you harvest on Bazaar day, and then plant that day, if you can somehow have enough stamina, then you don't have to hoe the plots the next day, because you don't have enough stamina to hoe every plot, to plant every plot, and water every plot. And don't even get me started on fucking fertilizer if you want to use that.
And then and if you do want stamina, you can buy food and drinks and stuff at the cafe. So you can do that.
Seriously?
Yeah.
God damn it.
I don't know how much it gives you, and then it's expensive. It's like 350 coins for just.
My best Grand Bazaar day was like 18 grand.
18 grand. I don't remember how much mine was, but I guarantee it wasn't that much. I did pretty well. But I think it was like 5.
That's pretty good still.
Yeah.
I did the same thing as you for the first couple of weeks because I knew there was going to be I didn't know. I assumed there was going to be a relationship situation. It's a lot more, I guess, intuitive, like in Stardew Valley, and I was pretty sure that system was there. And then there's a menu in there where you can see everybody's like heart levels.
Yep.
And so confirmed. But Jesus Christ, there's a lot of weird triggers, right? You have to, I think after the first month, I think you get windmills. I think that's after the first month.
Really? I didn't get that far.
Or not, I guess it's the first season, rather.
Right.
But, yeah, you can put, it's basically like a refinery. So you can make, like, teas and stuff. And there's obviously all of the event days on the calendar, like the holidays. You can give people specific things on those days, and they'll like them. And then, I don't know about this game, but I know, like, Stardew Valley, every NPC had, like, 3 categories of items. Shit that they absolutely, under no circumstance, want to be gifted, and they'll fucking hate you for it. Mediocre shit, or maybe it was neutral or something, and then stuff that they're like, yeah, this was cool.
Yeah, they did.
And then they're like, yo, I'll suck your dick for this shit.
If you looked at their description, it says things that they like.
Damn.
Yeah. So I don't think it's as in depth as that, but it is, similar to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not progress a single relationship. I
got
I did not.
2 maybe progressed, and one was with someone's son, one of the nice boys. I don't know, and then one of them was with the business-oriented chick. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She's the one that worked outside the city. I was like, oh yeah,
The MILF.
That's who I'm getting.
Yeah, I feel you. I on principle, because I fucking hate the mayor. Because he looks like a lion. He looks like the cowardly lion.
I love the mayor.
No, I fucking cannot stand him, dude.
He's a cool dude. He's got these cool glasses. He's the coolest dude vibe to him. Big dick energy, dude. BDE.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Nah, dude. This guy wouldn't shut the fuck up, dude. He was pissing me off. So, I gave his daughter flowers every fucking day for a month, dude. So I guess maybe I did. I don't know if she liked him or not. I just gave her fucking... Actually, I gave her really, literally anything that I had
Look
on
at
me
this
that was
stick.
of value. Not a stick. I didn't give her a stick. I gave her flowers. I gave her coins.
Just running up with this stick above your head, just like, hey, Mayor's daughter. Here. Just like throwing a stick in her head. You're like, I don't know if she liked it or not.
Yeah, I don't know. She didn't write me any letters, but I think she appreciated it. It didn't matter if she liked me or not. What mattered is I hoped that the mayor saw this. That's all. I just want him to know.
You just want him to know.
I just want him to know that I could probably dick down his daughter, assuming she's of legal consenting age, of course.
I don't think many of the characters in that game were.
Well, that's not what I wanted to hear, Fletcher.
I hate
all.
to tell you that. That was like
Okay.
an instant thing that made me uncomfortable in this game. It was just like,
Oh.
I'm supposed to be like 12 playing this game because
Oh.
it just seems like, I don't know, maybe it's just the chibi. Am I saying that right?
Chibi? Yeah.
Chibi? Yeah, this is the chibi look.
Yeah. I don't know. I see the I mean, and granted, there is a difference between lolly or lolly or whatever the fuck, lolly.
Lolly.
Lolo.
Lollipop, right?
No, lolicon.
Right, but lollipop.
No, that's a candy.
I thought that was like, it was reference to lollipop.
Nope, just lolicon.
No, I understand the term lolicon. I thought the term lolicon was coined from the term lollipop.
Oh, I mean, fuck. I mean,
It
I
makes
don't
sense.
know definitively that it's not. I guess. I don't fucking know.
It makes
I just thought it
sense.
was the Japanese name for the category of like.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it on the
Yeah,
podcast.
we don't have to get into
Google it,
no.
nerds.
Yeah, don't. You don't need
Wow,
to.
we're
I
hitting
know
a-
that if you're listening to this podcast, if you're a nerd enough to listen to a fucking podcast about a DS video game,
Yeah.
and then like the other like 5 people that are just like our friends that are nice enough to listen to it.
Shout out, homies.
Thank you.
Rise
I'm
up.
so appreciated. Love you. Thanks for being here. Sorry for weirding you out. Like, if you're, like, listening to a DS podcast that you found on Spotify, I have a feeling that you know what lolicon is.
Yeah, I would take that bet.
Yeah.
Assuming that phrase means that I'm on your side of that bet, not that I'm taking the bet to bet against you.
I don't know exactly what
I
that
don't either.
means.
Jesus, what the fuck?
Now that you mention it, I have no idea. Because I know what you mean when you say that.
But like, if somebody came up and said, "I'll take that action," I would like, "Oh, so you are taking the opposite stance."
Yeah, that's exactly what I would think.
Assuming that what we're betting on is a.
I remember the other
white
day
50-50.
you did correct yourself as that. You didn't even correct yourself. You just made sure to specify when you said it. You said, "I'll take that bet if we're betting on the same team," or something like that.
Oh,
it worked. I guess I knew what you meant. I was like, yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, but I would take that bet, assuming that you and I are both standing on the same side of the proverbial fence.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. In which case, who the fuck's paying up? The house?
That's what I would say. Like, that's the one thing I've never understood is like when you're betting on sports, and you're betting on the side that's like, yeah, I mean they're guaranteed, they're most likely to win. You put money on it, you're still gonna win money back. I would assume.
If you're bet. Oh well. Okay, so before I even it all way in, I know dick about betting.
Okay, I don't even.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand how the over under works. I understand in principle.
The over under I get usually.
I don't understand mathematically how it's achieved.
See, most of the bet parts, like the things that they're betting on, I understand. It's more of the payout and like the like how do you make
some
money
dude's
exactly?
shown up with $200,000. You've got $85. The guy next to you dropped in $5K. And you're all betting on the same thing, and then you're like, where are we getting money from? I have to assume like there's just a large enough pool from people that are
do you just
like,
make
if you think of a
money
horse
from
race, it makes
holding on?
sense because there's like what 12 plus horses. I have no idea. I've never been to a horse race in my life, but there's many horses in a single race, right? Everybody can bet on each of them, right? So let's say there's 12 horses. There's only one horse winning. It would be a miracle of something. Like if everyone bet on that one horse, right? Like, where's that money come? That I want to know for sure. Like, where's that money coming from?
Well, horse betting, you don't know a lot about horse betting.
I don't know dick about betting.
Horse betting is a lot like Keno betting. Where
I'm already lost, dude. I've been playing Keno for years, and
let's just say,
idea.
right? So, just the easiest way to explain this to you,
okay,
is if you bet on. I don't totally know this about horse betting, so I just think from having read enough Bukowski and like watched movies and like been around people that bet on horses. Like, there's like horse betting going on around me, like in like watching the Derby on the fucking TVs.
All right.
I kind of have an idea.
Sounds credible as fuck to me.
So the way Keno works is if I bet on one number with $1, I'm going to get $3 back if I hit that one number.
Okay.
But if I bet $1 on two different numbers and I get both of those numbers, I'm getting $11.50 back.
Uh-huh.
Now if I bet $1 on three numbers and I get all three come in, then I'm going to get $40, $42.
Okay.
So it multiplies depending on how
I understand like
so now with
the more
horses,
specific it gets and the more luck required.
Now with horses, you're like, this one's getting first, this one's getting second, this one's getting third. That's like a trifecta, and that is what's going to pay you out a lot. Just betting which horse is going to get first. Because then you even when you're watching the races, that comes up and tells you what the odds are on that horse winning. So
well, see, and that's the thing is the odds, because like the pay scale of the like based on the complexity of the bet,
odds, and
and how the odds are generated. I mean, I have to assume it's like
previous races.
It's like looking at players, stat cards.
Yeah.
Like, oh well, this horse is undefeated.
He runs
as fuck.
this kind of time. He's undefeated. It's his first time through. He's young. Yeah.
That stuff makes sense for the most part, but it's I feel like, to me, an outsider looking in, knowing the baseline, just like I can see the outline of how the complexity is organized, but to me it looks like like a fucking detective's idea board, you know, with everything pinned together and shit all over the fucking place.
I think betting is one of those things. There's not a ton of things there, but there's not a lot of things I can think to like make this an example to. But it's one of those type of things.
Yeah.
Where in order to figure it out, you have to just jump into it and just start like putting yourself around it. So like it's just like you go to a horse betting place,
Yeah,
and you just start making bets, and then like being around it and doing it, you start to figure more out.
No, that totally makes
like,
sense.
But from the outside, it's like so hard.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Like you have to play the card game to figure out the rules.
That totally makes sense. And I think that's why I've never been big on betting. I'm just like, man, I don't know what the fuck. I like sports, but like, because like Sam bets on like NBA games.
Yeah.
You know, every once in a while. And he'll tell me, he's like, oh, yeah, this is my bet. And he's like, I've got like 6 bets going. And
all 6 have to hit.
Oh, dude, it's insane. And
so
it's like, oh, this one's a 3-way split, and that one's a fucking, well, or like this one's a separate bet, you know. Mm-hmm. And it's like on 8 games and 12 players, and this is the bracket. And I'm like, oh. Yeah, I mean, like, I know one of those players' names. And I don't even know what team he's on. Like, I have to, like, sometimes I'll watch a basketball game and I'll be like, what was that foul? Like, how did he get fouled? What was the play? I didn't pick up on that. Okay. All right. Well, I remember what the key is, so feeling good about that.
I know what the goal is.
Ugh, shit. Yeah. Not a sports guy.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest sports guy either.
Went to a t-ball game last week.
That sounds incredibly boring.
You know, they're really short, so...
I am always surprised by how short they are, because when I work at a like bar, local restaurant, neighborhood restaurant, right? Mm-hmm. So people come in before the t-ball game, and then they'll come in after the t-ball game, and he's like,
dude, you were just here.
These guys get rained out, or like, no, they played.
No, they went the full 3 innings.
Oh, yeah. It takes a long time to go 3 innings with a bunch of 5-year-olds.
I mean, yes, don't get me wrong, but like everybody bats once, change. Everybody bats once, and the only like they're basically practicing 3 fundamentals: batting, obviously,
running.
Okay, so 4.
Running to the correct
batting, hitting, of course, accompanying batting, running, of course, running correctly, also, you know, paired with that, and then from like the fielder's perspective, getting the ball in, throwing to first. They don't give a shit about the rest of the bases. Just throw to first.
Yeah,
like that's it. Field the ball, get it to first. Kids are running. I don't think I saw anyone get out. You know.
Yeah.
Not saying it couldn't happen, and I don't know what would happen if it was the potentiality for an actual out call. So I don't know. Everybody swings until they hit one, and then they hit it. And then the other fundamental was paying attention.
Yeah, I remember being the kid in the field, not paying attention.
Dude, every single kid coming up to bat, you're like, is this kid about to get swung the fuck on, dude? Is this kid about to eat a fucking little, I don't know how long their bats are, like a 36-inch little slugger, like, to the face? Oh, bro. It was a pretty fucking good time.
It does actually sound pretty entertaining.
It was cute as fuck, man. Like, some of these kids, like, they just get so frustrated, you know? And I get it, dude. I get it. I remember Corey's kid was talking to me, and she was like, she did really well, but like her 3rd time up at bat, she missed like her first pitch, and like the first 2, she fucking cranked them, dude. I was like, yo, and she was like smirking and shit.
Are they a pitch, or is it?
So it is t-ball, but
do
like
they just like toss it up.
Yeah, like like one of the coaches is not far away, and it's an underhand toss.
Yeah,
and then like they'll give them. Like the kids can decline it too, or they can opt either way. And if they opted for pitching and they missed like 2 or 3, then they would set up the t-ball and they'd hit the t-ball, or they'd swing on it at least until they made a valid hit. You know. But she like on her third one, she missed that first swing, and it fucking rattled her to her fucking core, dude. She was so mad, and she just kind of kept fucking it up, and it was. I felt really bad for her. She was so frustrated, and she still smacked the shit out of it after they put it on the tee ball. But she was so mad that they put it on the tee, and she was so
How
funny.
belittling.
Oh, I know. She was absolute queen out there, just owning that field. She had meticulous form on her swinging stance. It was awesome, dude. I had a blast.
That does sound like a good time. It makes me think I have have been messing with not RetroArch, which is not an emulator,
Right.
and I did not download a not ROM of a GameCube game that is a Mario baseball game.
Oh,
I didn't know there was a
just
Mario.
baseball, right?
It's like no, it's like Mario Sluggers or something. Like it's like 'cause you remember they had like on the NBA or on the GameCube they had like
Strikers,
Strikers,
soccer one,
the soccer one,
obviously tennis.
They had the tennis one, and then they had like a street basketball one, and I guess they have kind of like a backyard baseball one.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever actually played it.
I didn't remember seeing this at all.
I definitely knew it was out there. I don't think I ever played it, but I always just assumed it was like backyard baseball.
I love baseball games. Like especially I loved the backyard
baseball game, dude.
They've been coming up on my
Love
TikTok feed lately, like lives of like people
playing it.
It is a slow paced game. It is really fun to see. Like, damn, do not remember it being. But you know, you're a kid playing a kid's game, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I loved, especially what was the other one, the Super Mega Baseball or something like that.
Ooh.
They just came out with a third or a fourth one.
Yeah, that sounds right.
What is maybe that's the name of it? And it was like a really, you can either play it arcade or you can make it really like
a bit more sim-like or something.
Yeah,
or at least
yeah.
More realistic, not
more
arcadey.
realistic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love me some arcade baseball games. This is the
Honestly,
Sims. I'm not good enough at video games, and I'm definitely not good enough with sports.
Yeah, no.
To be doing a sim.
Dude, the arcade sports game, honestly, that's where it's NFL Blitz.
Yeah, I had an NFL Blitz on the Game Boy.
Fucking loved that game. My brothers and I played the shit out of that game on GameCube growing up. Especially when you could like set up like the custom like skins and shit, and you could just be ogres or whatever the fuck, running around absolutely shit stomping people. Or the fact that like for 4 or 5 seconds after a play, you could control the characters, and then you could just all like dive onto things, and you could dive onto the bench, and the whole bench would explode, and everybody would flip off of it.
Flow everyone off it. Yeah,
you could
I
fuck
do
up the cheerleaders, dude.
I think my cousins had that on N64.
Is it that old? Shit.
I'm sure there's one on GameCube. I don't doubt that.
Oh yeah, but there could have been a 64 title, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think like the original, because I had one on the Game Boy, not even Game Boy Color. I had a Game Boy game of the NFL Blitz.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
God, that. Damn. Core memory is unlocked.
I have a core memory of. Was the game case black? Because the game cartridge, I think I have it like in that drawer right there. The game cartridge for NFL Blitz is black.
Shit, I don't remember that. It might have been.
Like all the other ones were like gray or like whatever.
Yeah, there were not many were like a different color than just gray. Yeah. Oh.
Because then
now I'm thinking of like 64 cartridges and shit.
There's the N64 cartridge for Killer Instinct was black.
That makes sense.
So was the SNES one. It was sick.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you had this whole gray catalog and then just that black one, and you're like, you know what that is.
Wasn't there a Bango Kazooie title that had like a sunflower yellow, or
was it red or yellow? Because I thought a Pokemon game was the yellow one. I guess there could be multiple ones that were yellow.
This is true.
Yeah, I mean it would make sense because you are collecting the yellow. Everything, a lot of yellow items, and I don't play Banjo Kazooie. I don't know.
Oh,
the
dude,
yellow
you never played a Banjo
pieces.
Kazooie?
I watched you play it. I watched you play a bit of it.
Oh. You like the Spyro games, right?
Yeah, Spyro doesn't have tank controls.
I mean,
I'm not hating on tank controls. I'm just saying that is like there's a huge difference between Banjo Kazooie.
No, 100%. I mean, I want to remove tank controls from the environment here, only to give Banjo Kazooie a fighting chance.
How are you gonna remove tank controls from the game?
I just mean subjectively as part of its critique. Don't get me wrong. Overall, it's still a factor, and it is poopy. And I'm with you.
I hate the way that it looks.
Okay, well, you don't have to make it personal. Jeez, okay.
I don't like the fucking music.
Okay, can we talk about something different? Jesus Christ, my childhood's going up in flames right now. I watched you play
it, and I didn't love it, but I stayed quiet that whole time.
God damn! All right, well, maybe keep doing that.
I don't even think when we were replaying it, I don't feel like you made it that far. And you're like, this game kind of sucks now.
Damn. I think it was like oh my god, I'm gonna think of it.
Banjo Tooie.
Well, there's Banjo Tooie, but I think I was playing through just Banjo Kazooie, but it was the
rare collection.
Yeah.
We talked about this before on the podcast. Yeah,
we have. I couldn't remember the word. I was like, the rare collection.
Yeah, rare. Yeah, rareware.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that honestly. I've not tried to say it out loud before, and I don't think we're gonna do that for the first time today.
I feel okay about it.
Rareware. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that sounds bad. I'm gonna go back to editing this and be like, why did you think sounded all right?
Just remove it. I didn't think it was. That's why I wasn't.
No, I'm about myself.
Oh, about
because
yourself.
I'm the one that said I think it sounded okay. Yeah.
No, yours sounded great. You said it perfectly.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. No, I don't know what I did, but it wasn't. It wasn't that, and I'm not gonna try it again. Gotta smash those impulses further down, I guess.
So I've been on a Sonic kick lately.
Ooh,
did I talk to you about this at all?
Yeah, you told me you were playing the what is it? The open world one?
Not
right?
the open world. Well. So it's the Dreamcast one. It's Sonic Adventure.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Sonic Adventure 2 is the one that introduces, like, Shadow the Hedgehog, and I think it's when they have, like, boards when they're racing down hills. Yeah. That's the one I thought that I was getting. It was, like, $3 on Steam, and I had money from selling skins and shit.
Oh, fuck.
So,
skin money.
Hell, skin money. Those of you not aware, I'm not selling human skins.
Yeah, he is. Don't let him lie to you.
Well, I mean... I'll let you use what context you have with our use of knots in this podcast.
Yeah, lots of knots.
Lots of knots. Anyways, anywho, so it's the Sonic Adventure game. It's the first one. It's like a Dreamcast remaster of it. And it's open stages. Like, it's open world in, like, the sense of, like, how Spyro is. Like,
sure.
You go to a level, it's got the hub world, which is open for you to explore around, and then there's, like...
different shit that you can pop into.
Yeah. The only difference being it's not really, like... where there's not, like, multiple places you can go in the hub world. Like, it locks certain places and opens up certain places as you're progressing to the story. And there's, like, ways for you to go to progress it on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm really enjoying it.
Well, that's good.
It's a game that's really hard to control, and then you get fucking, 30 hours on it.
No shit.
I have 30 hours logged into it because I keep falling asleep. Like, Ren will fall asleep while I'm playing it, and then I'll just like set down the controller.
That's what I keep telling myself my Counter-Strike hours are.
Yeah,
just
me
like,
too.
Yeah, and one time, 7 years ago, I just accidentally left CSGO open for
2 days.
36 weeks.
Yeah. That's one thing I was like, can I edit this? Can I change this?
I know.
I think I have the same thing on Half-Life. What's the one? Opposing Force.
An opposing force? You have a shitload of time on opposing force?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Because I actually did dash it down for like a week. Because Opposing Force is such an old game now that you can just like dash it down and just start doing other shit.
That's fair.
And you forget that it's running. I think I played Counter-Strike while I had Half-Life running.
Yeah, I've definitely done that before with
and just
one of the one of the older ones. Yeah, like was Blue Shift?
Blue Shift.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That one's way better than Opposing Force.
Yeah, I think I've only played through Opposing Force once, and then I was like, eh.
Yeah, experienced that.
Meanwhile, Fletcher's over here got 800 hours on
I just can't
Force.
get past this level. Just give it up, man. Just give it up. We touched lightly on it, about the sound of the girl character.
Oh, yeah.
How did you feel about that sound design? Because I was so annoyed. I didn't mind the song.
The music was fine.
But then the constant, like, like, there's, like, always a noise. Every single thing that you did.
Yeah.
Especially, like, when you're talking to Rawl, selling stuff. Another thing we can talk about is Rawl being, like, extremely racist, kind of.
Yeah.
But there's this comment that he makes about how, like, you know, he doesn't really dress like this or something, but, like, everyone really liked that he was foreign or something like that. So he, like, brought in all of his, like, foreign stuff. So
just
it's like
wearing a sombrero and a poncho.
Just because people like it. He's like, fucking gets me money, man. There's something about that just feels like a comment being made.
I mean, power to him, though. Like, do you, Raul? The dude, Raul was fucking dope as fuck, man. He's one of my favorite characters.
Raul. That's
Raul.
how you say it.
Raul.
Raul. That makes way more sense.
Yeah, otherwise it's just Paul with an R.
Yeah. Excuse me. I like Raul. I am a Midwesterner.
Hey, how you doing, Raul?
Can't help where I'm from.
No, I liked Raul. God damn it, Raul.
Raul and his brothers, yeah, they like those guys a lot.
Yeah, they were great.
But the talking constant, there's that noise, which is I had my sound turned off. I think the whole time I played this game after the first little bit. I was not impressed.
Well, so you talk about the repetitive sound that your player character makes every time you do a farming action, of which you are doing so many repeatedly in well, not quick enough, but in quick succession.
Yeah. Long successions.
Oh, dude. And it's just every time you make that god-awful sound. But that's where I was falling asleep, is whenever I'm doing farming shit. It's just so mind-numbing, dude, and it takes so long. And honestly, the sprite difference between like a watered and unwatered plant, depending on the type of plant. I don't know if you got to the point where you're doing like vines or anything like that, but it just makes some of the shit so fucking hard to see. And it's just not super distinctive at times. And like the fertilizer, it gives you that little sparkle shimmer. I don't know if you ever used fertilizer.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But like it pulses like this little, I don't know,
pink,
etheric wave
glittery,
that like rises up off
diamonds,
the crop plot.
Yeah.
But it, like, you have to wait for the animation to continue, and they all do it at the same time, and so you're looking for one that's you're like, oh my god, which one doesn't
so
have
hard,
fucking...
especially when you have the multiple rows going on with that.
Oh, dude, it's a nightmare.
Oh, it's just
But that's I would turn the sound on as much as I hated it, so that way I could like watch TV while I was doing it, and know when to have to hit the button to plant the next one, and I would just hold left or right, so keep walking after the animation concludes.
Yep.
Yeah, that part sucked. That was not that, and that's one of the reasons why I can still so heavily recommend Stardew Valley, because at no time ever did the farming, like, don't get me wrong, sometimes it's a chore, but then you get like sprinklers and shit, and they auto water,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty tight. No sprinklers in this game that I mean, I probably did not get far enough to get to that point. Maybe they have sprinklers.
I don't know. It didn't seem like it.
I didn't make it past the first year.
I know that in the new story seasons that I'd seen the ad for, that they have sprinklers that you set up. Maybe not. Maybe that was actually a different game. That was a different game. Yeah, it's like Grandpa's Farm or something like that is what I'm thinking of. Oh,
yeah. Grandpa's Farm.
Yeah,
dude, that sounds like a Stardew Valley ripoff.
No,
that's the whole premise.
You just have to you have to avoid Grandpa the whole time.
Oh, it's a horror game.
No, I mean it's like a child simulator game.
What? Actually, no, I don't have any questions. I don't want to know anymore. Sounds like you're trying to like clue me into a felony here.
That would be really fun though if you made a game that was like The Visit, where it's like the grandparents are like just fucking nuts, and you just have to avoid grandma and grandpa while you're trying to like keep the farm afloat at the same time.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, indie horror devs. There you go. There's your next
farming
game.
horror
Yeah,
game?
to change grandma's demented diapers. At this, like, even though like 2 hours beforehand she was trying to murder your ass while you were doing the cabbages.
It was like changing her diaper like a quick time event minigame.
I was kind of thinking of like Surgeon Simulator.
Oh. Ew.
Because you're a drunk.
This sounds like a drunk. What?
A drunken child. Yeah.
You know what? Earlier you accused me of not having my heart chakra opened. I'm gonna open it for you, buddy. Let's make that game.
Let's do it.
Let's make a VR version as well.
Oh, VR? That sounds so scary. Can you make a game that you can't play?
100%. Could I like? I mean, do I currently possess the skills to even make any game?
No.
No.
Neither do I.
Let's assume that I had the time and disposition to work to that. And could I make a game potentially that would be too scary for me to play? Yeah.
But I mean, would you? You have to have like someone else play test it for you.
Ooh, I mean, let's be honest. I'm not saying that my shit would be so good it didn't need to be tested. I would test in isolated ways and then just mash them together.
I would just test it by putting it out pre-alpha.
Oh, player test it? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, this game straight up does not launch.
Dang. Can you give me more details?
Can you send me an error log report, please?
Nope.
No, your report logger doesn't work either. Fuck.
This game is a scam.
So it would take me a while, but I feel like I could potentially make a game that I could never play.
Oh man!
I mean, I could just go into like Gary's mod and just like script in one quick little jump scare or something going down a dark hallway. I could do that. That would scare the shit out of me, and I wouldn't want to play.
Doesn't take a lot.
No, it doesn't.
So the game's actually not going to be that scary then.
Yeah, there's so much atmosphere to build into it. Okay, let's rephrase this question to allow me to keep my answer. Could I direct
Absolutely
a qualified group of individuals to make a game that I couldn't play? Most definitely. I would be like, make a scary game, and then they would make a scary game, and I would not be able to play it.
Hit 'em up, Konami.
Does Konami make scary games?
Is it Konami or Capcom that makes the Resident Evil?
Oh, I don't know. I thought that was Umbrella Corp.
It might be Capcom. I think it's a Capcom game.
What? I think Capcom and I think fighter games.
Yeah, Fighter, Mega Man. Capcom used to be huge.
I knew that.
Big name.
I didn't know they got a big name. They got a big
There's
name.
like Capcom versus Marvel, and you can play as all of the Capcom characters. Not all of them, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's a large encompassing name.
That's fair. That's fair. Resident Evil. I do like the Resident Evil games, but been too much of a pussy to play any of the new ones.
I tried to play through 7. Is that Biohazard? Are they all called Biohazard and that's just the Japanese name?
I have no idea.
It's the one where it's the first person one, and where you're at the house. And I was so scared that I fell off of my chair.
Ooh.
Backwards.
That sucks.
Yeah. Shin bought it for me just to like listen to me play it. Yeah, just to be a dick, basically.
just to hear your torment.
Yeah.
Dude, the opening, not the opening sequence, but like the second opening sequence to Half-Life 2, after you leave the station, and then you're running from the combine,
Mm-hmm.
and you like run through that door, and then you're trapped.
Yeah.
Or rather, all the other doors are closed, and then you like turn around or something to open a different door, and like just kick the door in. Bro, I almost shit myself. I had like earbud, like the old school, like 90s when they had the fucking little silicone. I mean, they still make them, but you know, the silicone.
Your judgment of time is so funny to me. But carry on.
What does that even mean?
You're talking about Skull Candy earbuds, most likely.
I mean, they might have been. I don't know if they were Skull Candy brand. It's the same
The
style.
90s earbuds.
Yeah, they were basically Skull Candies. Had those fuckers like jammed all the way into my fucking both hemispheres of my brain.
Not the 90s. Like,
no, that was definitely the 2000s.
yeah.
What the fuck? Dude?
Like 90s is like
the
that, like,
90s,
small
yeah.
over ear,
When you had the fucking
like,
shitty
foamy,
padded stereo headphones.
Walkman headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
The fucking 90s.
The 90s.
Jesus. Necessary topic.
I don't know if you want to do the scale on this one, the scoring that we did. If we have to do it with every game,
It's up to you.
I just I'm so bored with this game. You can't tell listening through this episode.
We've talked about anything but.
I've tried to avoid the subject of the game. I really think that we covered it with the double jump.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not a lot to say about this game. I think that we're gonna lose some people on this one because I think Harvest Moon has a strong fan base. I do believe also that there's a lot of Harvest Moon games and that some of them do not have a good response from the fan base.
Well, and I was looking at like critic scores for this one. Super mid.
This is a bad mid. We've talked about in episodes about good mid a lot. This feels like a bad mid.
It's a bad mid. No, I wouldn't say terrible. And I could see having like if you have a profound love for this game, it could be enough to carry you through it.
I could also see this being a game that we kind of touched on this on the last episode with WarioWare, where that was a game where I felt like when you're getting your game collection going and you've only got so many games to play, this is your new game that you've bought for the week or the month or whatever you're allowed. WarioWare, you're gonna like kind of get through really fast. This one, if it's your only new game, you know, because that's the problem with us, is that we're just given so much, like, here, this game is free this month. Oh, this game is $3 right now. This game is this. With this game, back when it released, and you're getting so much less games coming out at a time, I could see it being nice to really delve into if this is your main focus. I just couldn't make it my main focus.
I don't disagree with you. I think judging from what I know of this type of game, from what I've seen either in a speed run or other online gameplay, and from what I experienced personally, there's a shitload of content there. I feel like it was lacking in some of its cohesive areas, and it just kind of felt a little clunky throughout.
It did
a little bit,
yeah.
Just in terms of its pacing and whatnot, and I felt like from the uninitiated's perspective, the game does not give you much to stand on in terms of like providing instruction or direction. Like it gives you the very, very basic gist of controls, of which it's movements and like action.
It feels like it wants you to learn through failure, and that's something I do really badly with video games. I hate to go into it knowing I'm gonna do this probably not as well as I could do it. You know, especially when you're playing a game that's farming sim. My brain immediately goes to the only really farming experience I have, which is RuneScape, and that's all about like making it the best. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
you're trying to be the most efficient. Efficiency.
Oh, I got you.
You know, and so I'm thinking efficiency when I'm playing this game, and I know I'm not going to be able to achieve that. And I could see, because there's 2 save spots, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's one for your first farm and one for your second better farm.
Yeah.
That's exactly the idea, I think, is that you're going to play through it and go, oh, okay, now I know what I'm doing. Let me start over.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that one bit.
I relate to that sentiment pretty heavily. Again, I felt like I came in with a lot of
pre knowledge.
Yeah, definitely, and that helped me a lot. But even still, comparatively, this felt pretty mid. And again, my wide context for Harvest Moon doesn't exist. But just from what I've seen and read, this seems to be the general consensus. Not Harvest Moon's strongest presence.
Well, and I had played the Harvest Moon Game Boy Color game, and I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I don't think that's super high ranking either on the Harvest Moon fan base.
Oh, really?
But I liked that one almost because it was a little more at your pace. It didn't have that Grand Bazaar to meet. And as far as I know, this is the only game with the Bazaar in it as far as Harvest Moon goes.
Gotcha.
And so when you don't have that, it's a lot more just like, it felt a lot more casual. You're less afraid of failure because there's not like this time crunch that you're trying to fit into with making some money at the town bazaar sale thing. I
feel like time passage had a big role. It just the time. Yikes! There was no way to skip time.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to kill a couple of hours or like jump to noon or something, like you just had to wait it the fuck out.
And then if you wanted to save in the middle of a day, you're fucked.
Yeah, you have to sleep.
You have to sleep. You have to end your day, which can sometimes really screw you if you're trying to go for the every 12 hours you water your plants.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh fuck, I'm low on battery on my DS and I just don't have time right now, but I also know it's going to die before I can get to it, so I just have to eat this day. Turns out though, now knowing what we know, not a big deal to have done that.
It's not the end of the world.
And I guess I put too much pressure on myself while playing this game.
And you don't know what you don't know, right? Like the game doesn't give you any reason to assume like, oh, I should be like sleeping. I should be doing the littlest amount of work and sleeping. You're like, I need to explore. I need to figure things out. Like, what am I trying to do, right? And and like the reality is, it's like the beginning of the game. There's not a whole lot you can do for relationships.
No, you're locked. You are totally locked.
Yeah, like everybody's gonna have their own special events and like whatever, and like you can't even make the items or get a lot of the items that you need for some of the holidays.
I'm trying to remember what they said the first lock comes off at is like 25,000 or something like that, and I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, there's different checkpoints that like
there's certain things that unlock as far as like, and that like in items too, or maybe is it time? I think it's mainly just time and money.
Yeah, time and money, and it's money specifically made at the Grand Bazaar. And I think it's accumulative, or maybe it's like no. I think you have to sell.
It's over the time. It's over time.
Yeah. Okay.
It is. Yeah.
Either way, the pacing is pretty slow, and I felt that super hard.
Yeah, pacing was bad,
and there wasn't enough to like. The reward for going out and doing like you can forage for stuff, and I'm like, I'll probably need these, and with all the time I put in, I never got to the point where I needed any of those things.
The mint you need for tea,
you use it for tea, but
that's about the only thing.
That was the only thing I got to. Yeah. But
did you ever get to the fishing part?
I did get to fishing. Fishing was okay. Like it wasn't. I mean, I don't know. I didn't hate it, but like. I was hoping for like a little fishing mini game of sorts or something.
Was it more like Animal Crossing fishing where you just hit the button when it takes the...
Yeah, you just see the shadows in the water, it goes out, and then one of them will fuck around your fucking bob bobber.
Yeah.
And then eventually you'll get like an exclamation notification or like banner thing or whatever.
Yeah,
and
that's when you gotta time your
hit the button and then you pull it out. Yeah.
It's timing, quote unquote, but
Not
it's
really.
like
It's
pretty
super
big
forgiving.
window. Yeah. Well, that was our experience with Harvest Moon Grand Bazaar. If you feel like we were totally wrong, please let us know. I don't think it'll change our opinion of it.
I mean, I'm not giving up on Harvest Moon. I want to play another one.
No,
at some
I'm with
point.
you. I am with you.
It's got to be good, right? I think this game was their 8th title,
Wow.
5th for the DS.
5th for the DS. So there's, I'm gonna call it. There's 2 for 1 on one of the games because there's boy version and girl version. There's one that I'm really not looking forward to playing that I'd watched a playthrough of, thinking I was watching Grand Bazaar. Very quickly realized I'm watching the wrong game.
Oh.
It's like all touchscreen, and it's very cutesy.
Oh.
Super duper cutesy.
I mean, that doesn't sound terrible. I like cutesy.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see. You'll see what I mean.
I'm a pretty cute boy. All right, yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see.
Overall rating, we give this 5 out of 10.
I gave it a 6.
You give it a 6. I honestly give it like a 4.
Damn.
I was just so bored of this game, dude. I was just like, I was really just disappointed. I think I set my hopes way too high.
I had high hopes as well, and it wasn't as engaging as I wanted it to be. I feel like the potential is there, but I don't have the patience.
Well, you say we go ahead and do our
Should we do our little select a wheel?
rando shuffle.
It's not a wheel. It's a script.
I'm sure we could find a way to make it a wheel.
Dude, hell yeah! Let's code a fucking little animation for it.
And the randomizer has landed on. This is getting eerie.
Yeah, a little bit.
SNK versus Capcom Fighters DS. Are you a big fighter game? I've never really seen you. Injustice, I feel like I remember you playing.
I did play a bit of Injustice. The Naruto fighter game.
Yeah.
Love that one. Like your traditional fighters, not so much. It was never really my jam. I've played quite a bit though.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I like Super Smash Bros. Of course as well. It's not quite the same.
I don't think that. I think it's
more
its
like
own
arena brawling.
Yeah, it feels like its own genre.
Yeah, it's not the. I mean, it is quite technical, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
There's definitely a difference.
it's
I
not
can't
a combo
articulate
fighter.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think I really enjoyed Killer Instinct on the SNES, which funny we just talked about.
Mhm.
Tekken 2 was like my jam on the PlayStation. That was the fighting game that I felt most confident in.
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur 2.
Yeah, me too.
1 or 2?
2 for me.
2 is on the GameCube and the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. And 1 is on the Dreamcast. 1 is the one that I played a lot of then.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy Weston, he had the fucking Dreamcast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, we got down on that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's a fun one because of the sword. Like, you can get the long staff or the sword.
Yeah, you
or
can like change your weapons and shit like that.
No,
no?
I didn't know. Is that how it is on 2?
On 2 you can like build. You can customize like what your character's wearing, and they'll give you different stat trade-offs, and like some of them like you can
know what?
like get a reach weapon and shit like that.
I have 4, I think it is. That was the most recent one.
Yeah.
On PC, and yeah, they do have the customized character. And that you can do that.
It's pretty cool. That's pretty sick.
No, 1 just has like certain characters have like long staff, certain characters have shorter like sword. You know, they all have like different distances
like
and different give and
dagger,
takes.
sword, spear, some shit.
1 has speed, has this, or, like there's certain trade-offs.
Yeah.
And I can't really think of another fighter I was super into. I enjoyed. I think I had it on the Game Boy Color. One of the Street Fighter games.
I did have a Street Fighter game. I don't remember which one.
I think I had Street Fighter 4 as well for a little while. I think I borrowed that one or something.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to get good at that game, but those games are so hard because that's a really hard game to get into. But it seemed really cool once you have all the, because it's about having the combos memorized and then the response to other people's combos memorized. I feel like knowing how to react to.
Yeah, you have to learn your moveset and whoever you're fighting.
Yeah, so it ends up being everyone.
Yeah, eventually. Yep.
Yeah. So that's this one though, being a card game. I have no idea what we're.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I'm wondering if it's like that Kingdom Hearts game that has cards.
Oh,
shit. Where or did you ever play Mega Man Battle Network?
No.
It's kind of similar where it's you get this card, and that's like you attack with it each, because that's what Kingdom Hearts was, right? Where it's like you have 4 key ones, and then you have a deck of cards, and each one is your attack.
Yeah.
And then it will cycle through or something along those lines.
Yeah.
That was kind of how the Mega Man one is.
Okay.
I'm wondering if that's what this one is, or if this is just going to be a straight up Pokemon card battle game. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't either. It could go either way. I was leaning more towards the tabletop card style.
Yeah. That's what you would prefer, or that's what you think?
I don't know which I would prefer. I'd be down for either, but they're very different games.
They are.
I was just assuming that that's what it was, but yeah, we'll have to find out. That'll be interesting. Huh. You said SNK versus Capcom, and I was like, oh, a fighter game, and you're like, it's a card game. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what SNK is known for, and I recognize
I know the name. I
abbreviation,
couldn't give you anything about
nothing
it.
comes straight to mind.
No,
maybe it's just all fighting stuff.
It could be, but I think SNK. I think an older,
yeah,
like early game days.
Yeah,
arcade cabinets and shit. Maybe.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited to find out. My bar is low.
Relatable.
Later, card fighters.
Yeah. See you, nerds.